Good morning, folks, and welcome to the first episode of the three-part series, Electric Slide Guitar Greats. And today we're going to talk about Mr. Billy Gibbons. Very interesting character, you know. He was born in Houston, Texas. Let me get my notes here. December the 16th, 1949. He lived in the Tanglewood neighborhood in Houston, Texas with his family growing up. Some interesting facts about him. His first group was called the Moving Sidewalks, and they released an album called Flash, and I'm going to link that in the description to this video. And then he also, in the Moving Sidewalks, he opened for Jimi Hendrix, who actually called him the greatest guitarist of all time. And they kind of hit it off really well together, he and Jimmy. And I'm also going to link an article I found about that into this description of this video if you want to check that out. Now, in 1969, he formed ZZ Top. All right, and they released their first album in 1971. Now, we're going to go through 5 Billy Gibbons slide licks. Before we do that, let me just talk about the slides that he uses. I bought this a couple of years ago. This is one of the Billy Gibbons Mojo slides. All right, this is the ceramic one. You can also get one, I think it's based on more of a Coruscant bottle, and it's also one of his Mojo slides. So he likes his ceramic, like this, or he likes glass. And I have a really big glass slide that was given to me by my harmonica playing friend Fireball. Now, Billy Gibbons wears his slide on his middle finger. I get a really bad sound. You know, it's very hard for me to do that. So, to show you, I'm going to use my brass swamp slide that I prefer for electric stuff. And just to let you know, I'm using this. This is about as far from Billy Gibbons as you're ever going to get. It's a Squier Stratocaster. I think I had another video. I got this thing for like $50 at a pawn shop. I absolutely love it. It gets really good sound. As far as I'm concerned, I'm running it through a Boss SD1 Super Overdrive and into a little Mustang cabinet, one of the ones from the mid-2000s that's sort of supposed to be a modeling amp, and it is set on the Fender Bassman amp sound, which I like for slide. Now, Billy Gibbons was not like a super basic slide player, but he played a lot of traditional sounding licks. I think he took a lot from Elmore James and some of the other earlier blues players. And you could say Billy Gibbons is a rock player, but he's got some good blues licks as well. So the first tune we're going to look at is Just Got Paid, and I'm in open D. Now, Billy would have tuned his guitars to open E. I don't do that because I did that once and I had a really bad experience with it. And I don't have a guitar tech to chase around behind me to fix my guitars. So I keep mine in open D. So if you tune to open E, everything I show you in this tuning, do it down 2 frets, okay? So if I'm bassing at the 14th fret, you're going to bass at the 12th, okay? Now, we're going to talk about Just Got Paid, and I've got 2 licks out of that tune for you. So I figured that would be the easiest way to do this for you guys, is to go ahead and just show you a couple of licks. Oh, and consequently, I've got my tone on this guitar set all the way to the neck pickup. I'm hoping that gets me sort of close to Billy Gibbons' tone. I can set it up. I'll show you the difference. Here's the bridge pickup. I like that tone. Here's right in the middle. I like that. And then here's the neck. And I really like that, probably because I'm also an SRV fan. So anyway, here's the first lick. Alright, and that's right at the beginning of the solo of Just Got Paid. So let me show you the lick, and then I want to show you a couple of techniques that will kind of help you to see some of his style. Alright, so we are at the 14th fret, but we're going to slide immediately from 14 down to 12. Now, when you look at the tab that I have for you guys over at Patreon, it's going to show just a slide down to 12, and that's right, but I start at the 14th fret. So that's your first note. And then you're going to come up to the 14th fret on the 3rd string. By the way, we're at the 2nd string. Oh, I should tell you. D, open D, D, A, D, F sharp, A, D. This is the 1st string. That's the 6th string. So you're on the 2nd string going down to 12. And then you're going to get on the 3rd string, go up to 14, and then you're going to go to 14 on the 2nd string. So, that's the first lick. It's kind of quick. It goes. All right. Another thing you got to realize about Billy Gibbons is he's playing with a pick, but there's a lot of finger blocking going on here too. When you notice he's not doing an Elmore James. He's like. All right. So to go on with a lick, we're this far, and then he's gonna grab at the 14th fret, and you're going to see in the tabs it's going to show 12, but don't go down to the 12th fret on the 3rd string. And then you're going to go 14 twice. I've got 13 because he's kind of going a little flat there. All right, so you want to kind of ease in between 13 and 14 if you're looking at the tab. You'll see that this is lick 1, just got paid, open D. It's the first lick on the sheet. All right. A lot of blues players do that. Instead of going completely major, they'll use that blue note. Instead of going, they'll go. And it'll sound like, oh, we're just bending that, you know, a little bit. Like that, right? But they're doing it with a slide. So, whole lick. Start 12 on the 2nd fret. We're sliding down from 14. And then we're going to go to 14 on the 3rd string. And then we're going to 14 on the 2nd string. And then we're going to go to 12 on the 3rd string. And you want to allow yourself to kind of almost hear that 14 to 12 slide down. And then you're going to go to 14 on the 4th string. And then you're going to go between 13 and 14 twice on the 3rd string, and then 14 on the 4th string, and then you're going to go kind of in between and do this long slide down, and it actually lasts an entire measure, so it's all right, and that's the first lick. Now, B.B. King, or not B.B. King, but Billy Gibbons is fantastic at this kind of playing. So he's using a lot of this type of thing. And we're going to get into more of that when we talk about Duane Allman. All right, so what is that? Basically, you're going to pick 2 strings, okay? And I'm now in D. I'm at the 12th fret. And you're going to go 12, 10, 12, down to 10, 12. So 12 on the 1st string. And immediately down to 10. You know, you can kind of hear the slide down. Derek Trucks has that in his playing too. And you're going to immediately come up to 12 on the 2nd string. And then you're going to play 12 on the 1st string. Then you can move that down to the 2nd, 3rd string. Right? So, on the 2nd string, 12 down to 10 immediately. And then 12 on the 3rd string. Right. Like that. And then 12 on the 2nd string. And before you fully get to 12, and this is kind of a finesse type of a thing, but you want to be kind of between minor and major notes on when you're doing a blues type thing, and you can use it. Now you go completely major too. I mean, we've got guys like Mississippi Fred McDowell who would go completely major. All right. Oh, and like Slide Guitar Rag, or yeah, I think it's Slide Guitar Rag by Sylvester Weaver. There's a lesson video for that over on my Patreon as well, and he uses a lot of major. But it's kind of cool when you got the distortion and everything going. You know, and you're not going to quite get up there anyway, but it has such a nice sound when you get it going fast. You can even do it here. You know, that's where you're going up. You're going up to the 5th or 15, 16, 17th fret, and you're an open D. It's kind of a cool lick. Now, none of these licks are going to be in the tab, but they're cool, and you can learn them. You would go up there, and you would do the same move. 17 down to 15, and then you're going to try to play up to the 17th. And to end it, I'm going to the 15th fret on the first string and kind of coming up to the 16th almost, and then hitting the 17th fret on the second string. So second string, sliding down to the 15th fret, 17th fret, third string, slide down again. And then you go 15, 17, 15 up to 16 a little bit, and then 17 on the second string. That 15 up to 16 is on the first string, by the way. Okay, I'm going a little too fast. Let me slow down a little. You know what the problem is, right, guys? I got an extra large Dunkin' Donuts coffee here. It's supposed to be decaf, but it may not be the way I'm talking. Juice it up, baby. All right, let me slow down a little bit. Now, lick 2 that I'm going to show you is also from Just Got Paid. It's in the key of E. We're at the 14th fret because we're still in open D. That's the lick. And you'll notice when you listen to Just Got Paid, his playing on slide is he's so good at finger blocking. Everything's clean. It's not like, which sounds cool too, but he's making sure the notes are separated. All right, now what is that? And as you can tell, a lot of what he's doing comes from what I call the school of Elmore James, who, by the way, we're going to talk about in this series. It's going to be the last one, Elmore James. All right, what he's doing is he's going up to the 14th fret, sliding up, and he's playing 3, 2, 1 on the strings. Like that. All right? And he's hitting the first string at the 14th fret twice. I'm looking over here because I have all my notes for these licks over here. All right. So he hits that twice, and then he comes down and does that 14 down to 12 again, like we did before. Like that. And you'll see it notated just as a slide down to 12. Just take advantage of the fact that you're at the 14th fret. And that's on the second string. Slide down to 12. Third string. Going to 13, between 13 and 14. And then between 13 and 14 again. And that's the whole lick. So, and really utilize finger blocking. All these licks are going to be great exercises for finger blocking because he really is good at not having things just ringing and ringing and ringing. You know, like, so when I first started playing slide, I would have played this like this, which is a very Elmore James sounding lick. But if you want to make it a B.B. King lick, it has to be like that. You know, you got a lot of separation in between. A little grit on your guitar helps too. I used to not think that. And then I read an article. You guys remember Guitar World. I mean, the younger guys might not. I don't know if it's still out there. When I was in the mid to late 80s, that's what I read. That and Guitar Player Magazine, which is still there. And it was really interesting to me once. I always thought practicing on an acoustic, and then I would go to play electric guitar and I'd have a lot of problems because I wasn't used to the gauge of the strings. I wasn't used to the feel of the neck. I wasn't used to the sound of the guitar. You know, it's so loud, it can make you super timid if you approach it from an acoustic standpoint. And it said in there, if you're going to play an electric guitar with distortion, practice that way. That way you learn how to use your effects and your guitar, and it makes everything work a whole lot better for you. So when you're practicing this stuff, you know, if you got like a Les Paul style guitar or a Telecaster, I think Billy Gibbons' main guitars were those sort of the Gibsons or like a Telecaster. I don't remember him playing a Strat style guitar a lot. There are, you know, you can see pictures of him with a Strat. But he played a lot of those with the humbuckers in them because he got a really good, smooth, not dark tone, but it wasn't like this either. You know, it was a smoother tone, kind of like that. Like what I'm getting out of this now. This just happens to be my axe of choice because it was so cheap, and I love it so much. I'm sure if I ever get a real Stratocaster, I will fall in love with that, and that'll be my axe forever after that. So I'm almost afraid to try to do that. All right, so on with the show here. The last lick I want to show you in open D is, I believe, a direct nod from Billy Gibbons to Elmore James. And it's from Apologies to Pearly. That's one of his more recent tunes. I'm playing it, of course, in open D, but he's in E, the key of E, and if you guys want to tune up to E, just move everything from the 14th down to the 12th and bass there. So, that's the lick. Boy, doesn't that sound familiar? Like, sounds just like Dust My Broom, doesn't it? But I love it because he does play it a little different. He plays it in his own way. So he starts off, he's on the second string, and he's sliding up to the 14th fret. And then on the first string, he's going to play 14 twice. So he goes. And he's just doing triplets and alternating between strings 1 and 2. And it's this neat sort of pattern. So, right? So he's going 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then 14 on the third string and 14 on the fourth string. And it really sounds very staccato on the album. But it's fantastic. It's like, what helps me is rocking my slide a little bit. Excuse me. That I'll rock the slide kind of like that to get that lick. And I just love that lick. And that song's really cool too. Like I said, it's called Apologies to Pearly. Check it out. You can find it on YouTube. You can find Just Got Paid on YouTube. And like I said, I'm going to link his first album, The Flash by the Moving Sidewalks, hopefully, if it'll let me, into my video on YouTube, into the lesson tutorial. All right, now, enough of that. We were in open D. Now I want to talk about another song of his, but I got to switch guitars for that. All right, so I'll be right back. Alright guys, so now I'm back with my resonator. I'm in open G. That's D, G, D, G, B, D. Now we're going to talk about 2 licks from Billy Gibbons' Tush, right? From the song Tush. Not from his Tush. Oh, I'm sorry. But from the song Tush. Now, one thing I'll just show you, now this isn't in the tabs, is the song. If you want to play it in a band and just have a guitar tuned to open G, you can just play open 5, 4, 3, that gets you a G, and then you can go up to the 5th fret on 5, 4, and 3, slide up into it, and then the 3rd fret on 5, 4, and 3, and it goes something like this. And what am I doing there? I'm going to the 6th string, and I'm going 2, 3, 4. Alright, so that's one thing you can do if you're in a band, you want to play this tune. I love this tune. It's always fun to play in a band, but we used to always play it in standard tuning, and it's a whole different ball of wax. Alright, I want to hit the first lick in the tune, and I'm looking over here because, like I said before, I've got 5 licks. I've got them out here. I've got the tab. Here's the first thing that's in the tab. Alright, that's the first lick in the solo. So, what are we doing? We're going to go to the 2nd string, and we're going to go up to that between the 11th and the 12th fret and kind of start sliding slowly up. right? So notated in the tab, you'll see I've got it the 11th and you're bending, but it's actually sliding. You're sliding up. And then you're going to hit the 12th fret on the 4th string. And then you're going to hit the 3rd string quickly twice at the 12th fret, and then so about 6 times. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you want to give it a lot of vibrato. And then you're going to go to the 11th again, and then you're going to kind of bend towards the 12th. And you want to mute that string before you kind of reach the 12th. You want to. So what's that? You're going 11, between 11 and 12, kind of bending up, starting at the 11th fret. And then you're going 12 on the 3rd, 12 on the 4th. You're doing that twice, like this. Right? So what's happening on the last time you do it? All right, what are you doing? You're going 12, 10, 12 on the 4th string, and then ending up on the 3rd string. Give it a lot of vibrato in there. So all right, and that's the first lick of Billy Gibbons' song, Tush. I keep wanting to say Billy Gibbons' Tush, but it's not coming out of his tush. It's coming out of his guitar. All right. Now, there's a really cool lick that I used to love out of this tune. And it sounds like an old Delta blues lick. So it's like this. That's the whole lick. So what are you doing? You're going to the 3rd fret. And you're pulling off. You're going to sort of slightly bend up and pull off. And you're on the 3rd string, and let that 3rd string ring. Like that. Right? So you just do it twice. You go. And that's the top 3 strings at the 12th fret. You're sliding into them. Twice. So you go ba-da-ba-da. And lots of vibrato. That's the entire lick. But it's something that would work even if you were in a Delta blues like. You could throw it in there. And that's what's great about Billy Gibbons. You can feel his influences moving in his music. So guys, I hope you got a lot out of this. If you have any questions for me, please reach out. I'm always here. I'm always ready to answer questions. If you choose to join Patreon, I just changed it. Everything on there. It's $1 a month. You get all the tabs, all the lessons, and I do lessons throughout the week on there. Or if you want to take online guitar lessons from me, we can talk about that. So guys, I hope you have a great week.